Welcome to Arevalo Transfer. On previous videos, we learned about the outgate and the load. Now, after we have loaded a container, our next step is ingating it. As you already know, to ingate a container means we take the container to the rail and leave it there so they can take it to the port. Before we send the container to Ingate, we must make sure billing for the container is confirmed. Otherwise, our drivers could spend a lot of time at the rail waiting for the billing to pass. When our drivers ingate a container, they receive a document called Ingate Slip. On this document, we're responsible for checking the container number is correct. So let's get to it. Okay, so for this particular example, we're going to look at our company driver schedule, and we're going to look at an ingate that Ray has to do after dropping the 2 containers he just outgated at the shop. So we're going to mark this as blue so everyone knows we're working on it. And we're going to look for this container on the booking page. As you can see, it is right in here. Billing has been confirmed for this container, and another important thing we need to check before sending a container to Ingate is that we're not sending it before the ERD. ERD stands for earliest release date. It is the first date in which we can ingate a container. If we ingate a container before this date, then we are going to be charged for doing so. Okay. So now that we have found the container, we're gonna change the notes so it reflects who is going to ingate it and when. Today is 5/17, Ray ingating. And we're going to replace en route to shop by en route to rail, because it is going to the rail. I'm going to copy this container number and I'm going to mark the cell as orange. Because when a container is ingating, we mark the cell as orange. Okay. I'm going to see where is this container going to be ingated. As you can see, the drop-off point is CP. So I am going to go to raise load group and I am going to say, after you drop these containers at the shop, please hook up to this container number and ingate to CP. Now, after he ingates, he's going to have an empty chassis because they're going to take the container off his chassis. And if he has an empty chassis, he has 2 options. Head back to the shop with the empty chassis or outgate something. But in this case, his schedule says that he's going to go with his empty chassis to the shop. If he was outgating something, here we would have a column and a booking number, and then we would know he would outgate a certain amount of containers and take them to the shop or take them to load if he had a load time, but in this case he's just dropping the chassis at the shop. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this chassis number. We're going to look for it in our booking page, and as you can see, it is right in here. So we're going to make a note saying 5/17 Ray dropping, and we're gonna mark this chassis as white. That way everybody knows that chassis is available after Ray drops it at the shop. And we're gonna give that instruction to Ray. Then drop chassis at the shop. Then we're going to say thank you. And that's how you dispatch an ingate. After after we sent Ray his dispatch, he sent his ETA to CP. Then he got to CP, he ingated, he sent us these documents, and then he sent his ETA back to the shop. So we're gonna open the documents and we're going to explore them a little bit. As you can see, here it says Ingate routing. Here it says Canadian Pacific Railway, which is where the container was ingated. And here we're gonna find the unit number and the chassis number. So first we're gonna go to our booking page and we're going to look for that container number. It is OOLU. Okay, and something interesting about the Ingate slips is that we are always going to find the unit number without the dash and the last digit. That's how they type it in the Ingate slips, and it's okay. Here we found our container, and now that it has been ingated, we're going to delete the notes that say en route to rail. We're going to copy the container number. We will mark this cell as green. As you can see, this booking was for one container. Okay? So now that we have ingated all of the containers that the booking was for, there is something special that we need to do. First of all, we're going to mark all of these as green. And we're going to put the date in which the last container this booking was for was ingated, which is 5/17/2021. And we're going to go to this new tab called Completed Bookings, and we're gonna enter the letter of the column of the completed column. Now we're going to go to our schedule, and we're going to mark this as green because he already ingated the container. And after marking that as green, we are going to come to Raise Load Group, and we're going to send this to ICN Rail Billing. This is our container number, and this is an Ingate. Okay, and that's how you take an Ingate. I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day.